I don't want somebody that's going to come around and say, you got your half of the rent this month. No, I don't.
So, well, you were looking for a traditional man, but are you a traditional woman?
Yes.
In what sense?
I feel like
what is traditional woman to you?
Exactly. And see, everybody's definition for
Nah,
words
men got one
varies.
line. Men, we're all pretty much the same. We know exactly what traditional
I don't think all men are the same.
Oh, majority of us are.
It depends if they want to do it or not.
I don't think
if
so.
They're traditional man.
I don't think so, because some people think courting is tricking. So
no.
I don't think.
No. There's courting and there's tricking. They're vastly different. Tricking is a whole thing of its own. Courting is someone that's reciprocating. If I'm courting a woman and I continue courting, she's reciprocating. But give me
transaction.
It's very transactional. There's no type of emotion involved. It's just transactional 100%. Courting is like you feeling me, I'm feeling you. We try to take it somewhere. We try to have kids, family, married. That's the
Chat, do you all agree that is the true definition? I'd love to see this clip.
We seriously need to bring back traditional values in this country, and I think it's so disgusting how many single men there are over the age of 30, not even 30, like 35, 40, doing what? Working a job, slaving away to the government, giving into capitalism, and they think that's what matters. What truly matters is finding love and building a family. The idea that these men could...
You know, we actually did that. We tried. Unfortunately, just nothing was good enough. The houses weren't good enough. The lifestyle wasn't good enough. And so, you know what I mean? It didn't matter how traditional you want to be. You know, we try to do the whole family thing. We try to, have kids and have family and do all that jazz. And it just never worked out, because we live in a society now where nothing's good enough. Yeah. Go figure. So now we'll go work our jobs. We'll make our monies. And we're going to go do like what you said in the video. We're going to go golfing. We're going to play video games. Stay in our houses. Go to the gym. Travel. We're going to go do all those things because... You know what I mean? We tried. We're not desirable. So we're going to eat our fruit. And, yeah. So keep up the good work.
Men melt when a woman speaks softly. But a lot of women don't want to hear that because they think being sweet makes them look weak. But that's a huge mistake because a woman's greatest power is her softness. Think about it. If he wanted another alpha energy in his house, he would have married another man. So if you ever have caught yourself thinking, he never does anything that I ask him to, it's probably because you talk to him like you're another guy challenging him. Try using your feminine, soft, lighter tone of voice more often and just watch how differently he treats you. I've never heard a no from my husband when I speak to him gently. He's even told me that he can't resist when I ask that way. If it feels hard to switch into that sweet version of you, it's because you've permanently turned on that masculine energy without even noticing. And that puts your relationship at risk. That's why I created my free quiz to help you find out which energy you're in most of the time, masculine or feminine, and how to fix it before your relationship crumbles. Comment quiz and I'll send it to you.
So for women who want traditional men, if you're between 20 and 24 years old, the chances of you finding that is going to be very, very difficult. On top of finding one that you're physically attracted to, one that can hold a conversation, one that's going to put you as a priority, one that wants children and wants marriage and wants all the shit you want, that number goes way the down.
Correct.
And now I think your phone's on still.
Oh.
On top of all of that, I think that it's a lot more fair to say that men are between the ages of 30 and 40 are a lot more financially responsible for the most part. They have a career instead of a job. They've learned to trade. By this point, they should have learned to trade. They've probably bought a house. They probably own their own cars. Like they're doing the life thing. You are more likely to get that traditional lifestyle from somebody who can afford it than someone who's struggling financially. Now, there's also something to be said about people who can build an empire together.
Right.
But how many people both have the ambition and the work ethic?
What's wrong with me molding my wife to please me?
She's not a seasoned woman. She don't
We don't want
doesn't
that.
know already.
We don't want that.
Those younger women, those girls don't know themselves already. Men want those women because they're able to mold them. And you can teach them and tell them what to do and how to do it, when to do it, and what to do. With us older women, we've been there, done that. We already know ourselves.
We don't want women that we have to battle your past for. If I get me a younger woman with less experience, why can't a alpha man mold his wife to be that wife to make him happy? This is why we date younger women. They don't have those experiences, those trauma decisions that you've been through your whole life that's keeping your guard up from me. Because I hate the notion that women always try to make it seem like men are semi-predators because we want a pure woman. This is what we want. Y'all can't get mad at us for wanting what we want.
You cannot run the same game you ran on the simp-ass generation before us. Our uncles and daddy them were suckers.
See that right there? That's why women want us to be so-called traditional. Where the traditional men at? Where the traditional men at? They mean where the man is going to put up with me whining, don't want to fit, not giving you none for 2-3 weeks. Well, I don't want to make her mad. She already mad, but I want to make her more mad. What the is more mad? At this point, she put on a cape and be super mad. It's going to be the same. You see what I'm saying? That's what they mean. Where's the man that's going to put up with my BS and I can do whatever I want? It's cheaper to keep her and all that stuff. See, that come from the old school. See, there was men that didn't put up with their stuff from their woman. But men have always been weak to have a woman. See, I find it's the same thing with working today. If men back then had stood up to supervisors and stuff like that, we wouldn't have the problem we have today at work, which is supervisors thinking they can talk crazy to you and stuff like that. If y'all had stood up back then, see, we praise a lot the old generation because they just put their head down and went to work and didn't complain. Well, you put your head in the sand, you losing. Now, when the young folks is kicking up dust, y'all complaining too much. No, we trying to do what y'all punk ass didn't do back in the day with women, with jobs, with opportunities. We trying to make a way because y'all didn't do it. We trying to have something. We're trying to make an example for men that's coming up after us, right? That's all we're doing. If y'all had did it back then, you know, and everybody's daddy and uncle wasn't like that. My mama didn't run my dad or nothing like that, but it's like that. You know what I mean?
You want a traditional man, you would have to show me a traditional woman. And those don't exist anymore. You want to get grandmom treatment, but grandmom was low maintenance. That's another thing that they don't want to talk about. Grandma wasn't walking around with $700 bust downs. Grandma wasn't walking around with Birkins on. Grandma wasn't walking around with Louis Vuitton shoes that are only made for European women. So when you put your 190 frame on them, your feet are in pain. They only built for women that are 110 pounds. Grandma also didn't need trips to Turks and Caicos and everywhere else. She didn't need any of that. Grandma was cool with you bringing the groceries home and with the bills being paid, which a lot of these modern day women would call the bare minimum, which is insanity to me because anybody that's paying all of the bills and bringing the groceries home, that's a maximum because you don't have to do it. So then we go a little bit deeper into it. Grandma never confused her role as being a woman.
3 reasons why men stop asking women to go out on dates. Let's get into it. Reason number 1. Y'all don't be liking the places that we want to take y'all to go out on a date. I mean, that's cool and all, I get it. So we be like, okay, fine. You pick a place. We can go there. Now, before we get into reason number 2, let me just say this. Half of y'all be disqualified from the jump because when we ask y'all out on a date, y'all be like, is you paying? Like, if I wasn't paying, why the would I ask you to go out on a date? All right, now back into it. Reason number 2 is because y'all suggest a place that we can't always afford to take y'all. And then y'all get mad talking about, oh, well, if you can't afford to take me here, you don't need to be asking me out on no date. Bitch, I just asked you to go out on a place that I could afford to take you and you acted like you ain't want to go. But I digress. And the final reason is because y'all think we only want one thing, and y'all know what it is.
You know, there was a woman talking about, oh, I mean, these guys are slaving away for capitalism, and they're in their 30s, 40s, and it's quite disgusting. You know, what happened to love and all of these other things? And the guy was like, well, we tried that. We did that. But it turns out, even after we were traditional, even after we gave you the house and we did a lot of things, you still didn't want to be with me. You're still saying, we don't even have to guess. We can see women on here talking about, I left a good guy. Well, what makes him good? And then they go down listing the things that would make a guy good. Oh, but there was just something missing. He just wasn't, he didn't connect with me emotionally. You mean he couldn't? It's kind of hard to connect with you emotionally when you got your emotion tied up with somebody else that you see on the show, and you shaving your body clean when you're pregnant. You saving every part of your body to go out there and be felt up and groped and dry humped by a celebrity or one of these musicians or singers or whatever. So maybe you're not emotionally available.
Women are evil monsters, okay? We will literally determine if something is creepy or romantic based on how you look. If you're hot, it's romantic. If you're chopped, it's creepy.
Girl went to order pizza. She said chivalry is, and as you can see, it's a whole bunch of men occupying the seats. But the comment section did not disappoint. Only when it's convenient for you, right? But equality is alive. Chivalry ain't dead. I'll get up for my mom, sister, and girlfriend with for those women, not a stranger. The bear didn't bring you a chair. Period, kings. You're a strong, independent woman. You'll figure it out. Excuse me, would you like to... I have a boyfriend.
I better pay attention to me tonight. I'm so sick of this shit. Oh my god. Touch a boob, buy a drink. I mean, it's like very simple.
Okay, so I recently went to a singles event and it was 90% women. And I was wondering, like, where's all the dudes?
With 1,000 singles in attendance. Like, are we all living the same life at this point? Because I've never been in a room with that many single people, even thought that it was even, I thought I was like the only one left. I mean, beautiful women, all types, shapes, and sizes. Where are the men? Where are the men? Then again, don't know. Never mind.
I think one of the easiest ways to see how much men don't actually see women as people is to look at widowers.
Right. Let's do that. Because after all, that would make perfect sense. Take the behaviors and possible feelings of a small portion of the population and then come to the reasonable conclusion that the majority of the population must share in those behaviors and possible feelings. Okay.
Like, do you know how fast those men remarry just to have another warm body in their bed and someone making warm meals for them? Do you know how fast they will find another woman to parent their own children because they need a mother?
Does a person understand even how utterly ridiculous this sounds? Because unbeknownst to them, apparently, many men who unfortunately lose their wives to an unfortunate circumstance often choose not to remarry. So they are taking an even smaller portion of an already small portion of an entire population and using it to judge the rest of that population.
It doesn't matter that they are that child's actual parent, and it doesn't matter if the woman they find is not that kid's actual mother, because it's all the same to them, because women mother.
They're really trying, aren't they?
As long as that woman is a woman, it doesn't matter if she's actually that child's mother, as long as she's a woman. Do you see how diabolical that is?
Diabolical? Oh, I know what's really diabolical here. And it's the fact that in order to try to push a certain narrative, someone is leaving out a lot of statistical information that is freely available on this subject. Because while it is true that widowers are more likely to remarry as compared to widows within the first year, the percentage of widowers who choose to do so is only about 25 to 30% of widowers. And in fact, a lot of men, although they may enter into a relationship more often than women do after the loss of a spouse, it's about 75 to 80% of men will actually remain unpartnered. I wonder why they left out that very critical piece of information.
Unpopular opinion. A lot of women like to throw rocks and then hide their hand whenever the argument starts. You will say some slick to him, trigger him, push his buttons, and then be mad whenever he responds to you. Now you want to be innocent, like, what did I do? I don't understand why you're responding like this. You shouldn't have yelled at me. And now his response is going to become the problem instead of the actual that you just said. But let me explain something to you, baby. That's emotional manipulation. You cannot play victim in a circumstance that you just created. You cannot be mad at that man for responding to something that you just said that was disrespectful to him. Do not sit around and throw rocks and then not be woman enough to stand on that that you said whenever it comes back to you. Because let me tell you something. Accountability looks good on everybody, baby, including you.
What common mistakes do you think some women make when it comes to relationships?
I think the biggest mistake, and I know I'm guilty of this as well, is we don't communicate our needs and we expect them to predict it. So what I mean by this is, say for example, we want to see somebody more often. We will say, I'm not going to ask him, I'm not going to say it because he should just know. If he wanted to, he would. But the reality is, when we don't communicate our needs, we teach people the wrong way to love us. If you're late every time you pick me up and I don't say anything in that process because I don't want to look needy or I don't want to look clingy or anything like that, I'm teaching you it's okay to do that.
I think that's deeply concerning is that like all of the older women, when I say older, like 50 plus, are strongly passionate about younger women, 20s, 30s, not getting married. It's like you can see your future and they're telling you exactly what...
You know what I find interesting? When you listen to married women speak about marriage and married men speak about marriage, this is typically what they say, right? The man usually says, she's always nagging and nothing I ever do is good enough, right? And then you listen to a woman who's married and she complains about the marriage and she always says he doesn't do enough. Now, y'all remember that lady who got on here and who was complaining about how she almost divorced her husband because he didn't put the dishes in the dishwasher after coming home from work? But here's the thing. She stayed at home. Right? And then you hear this other topic about if your husband got off of a 12-hour shift, right? 12-hour shift at work. She feels like she should be able to hand the baby over to her husband after he gets home from his 12-hour shift, because she wants time to relax. Now, everybody's saying, well, he still needs to be a father. Okay, cool. Let's switch the roles. Let's say you were working a 12-hour shift at the factory, at the warehouse, at the construction site, right? You get home after 12 hours. Your husband is a stay-at-home father. When you walk through the door, your husband hands you a baby. Sounds silly, doesn't it? Because it's silly. He works for 12 hours, sleeps for 8. 12-hour work, sleep 8. That's 20 hours out of 24. He has 4 hours to himself. And 2 of those is getting ready for work, going to work, and coming back. So dude has 2 hours. 2 hours. And you can't even give him 30 minutes when he walks through the door? I know what the problem is. Women are never content. Like, there's never enough. Like, they never have enough. That's why men always complain, nothing I ever do is enough. Women will complain, he's the greatest man I've ever met. He's great, but it's still not enough. Listen to what a woman who's been married complains about. It's always she wants what? More. What does a married man complain about? It's never enough. So yes, you'll be completely miserable in your marriage if you don't learn contentment.
Y'all want to know the real reason why no one likes to club anymore and why clubbing culture is dead? Well, surprise, surprise, the reason is men, but let me tell you why. As it's been established, men aren't real men nowadays. They don't like being gentlemen, they don't like being courteous, and they don't like women very much. The other day, me and my friends were at a beach club and we were at the bar waiting to buy our drinks because, you know, we're strong, independent women and we don't want men to buy our drinks, but if someone offers, why not? So these two men come up to one of my friends and they go, hey, like, do you mind if we cut in line? We're just getting 2 drinks. Oh, whoa, wait. We've been waiting here. Sure, you guys can cut us in line, like, but are you guys gonna get us our drinks? He was just like, no. And then I was like, oh. So then why the f did you ask? Move then. What happened to ladies first? What happened to class? And then this man has the audacity to try hitting on my friend who didn't even buy her a drink. What makes you think you could talk to her? All of these men will get in and they'll just stand there. They won't even dance. They'll just stand there and just look at women. Just being full on monitoring spirits. Like, just stood there like, oh no, the girls should come up to us. No. Men will go out in big groups and they won't get tables. They won't buy bottles. A lot of these clubs aren't making money anymore. So now a lot of them are charging girls too. The reason why you're still open is because we are in your establishment. 9 times out of 10, when we come out, it's not fun anymore anyways. So why the are we spending money to not even have fun? That's why I think clubbing culture is done. I'm more of like a lounge, speak-easy type girl now. We're not doing that in 2025 anymore.
Sorry if I'm masculine, but I've been forced to be masculine. When I was married, or when I was in my past relationships, and a man didn't wear the pants, I had to take off my skirt and put the pants in the relationship. If a man can't show up and can't be a man and an alpha, then guess what? A woman has to be that alpha. So a lot of men in my life forced me to wear the pants because they had their skirts on. And this is what people don't understand, that when I have been forced to be masculine by men who were not alphas, and I had to show up for the family, and I had to pay the rent, the food, everything, I had to. When a woman is in a relationship where the man doesn't show up, she has to put the pants on. So I'm sorry if I'm masculine, but I've been forced to be masculine. Show me an alpha man that is in his true alpha, not in his wounded masculine, but his full-on masculine, and watch me become a sweet, soft little girl. I need a man that is fully in his energy, masculine energy, and when a man gives that woman that feeling, that safety, that energy, that love, you can feel it. Then a woman deassembles her masculine energy and she falls into her feminine, and she becomes a child with that man. But sadly, I have not met those. Sorry if I'm masculine.
I mean, even if I were to give you that the men were cutting in line, they came up to you, they asked you if they could cut. Well, what happened to ladies first? Yeah, I mean, you were going to give up ladies first if the man bought you something, right? So you made it transactional. You weren't really doing it out of the goodness and the kindness of your own heart. You were doing it because you wanted the man to give you something. Y'all are desperate for attention. That's what it is. Well, we don't want to really buy our drinks. We'll let you cut and go before us if you do something for us, right? We'll come over to we'll talk to you guys. We'll entertain you guys, basically, because you think that you're entertaining a guy. You think you're doing him a favor. All of you guys come in and none of you guys buy a table. What kind of crap is that? Why would I buy a table for you? I buy a table if I want to sit there. I buy a section. I buy bottles if I want to sit there and enjoy the fruits of my labor, not you walking over acting like a beggar, right? But that's what y'all do. Y'all want the man to go in there, spend a whole bunch of money, and you're not really even going to talk to him. Y'all might stay there for you already know how the game go. You might stay there for 2 or 3 minutes. Oh, we're just going to go around and, kind of see after you done got your drink, after you secured whatever it is, and you go to another section and try to, we talked to them and they wasn't really hitting on anything. There weren't any millionaires in there. We're going to see if we can go to another section. And those guys might get up, 2 or 3 of them, and say, hey man, what happened to the girls? I don't know, man. They said they were going to get something to drink, but they never came back. And while they're going to the restroom, they spot you at another man's section in another man's face. And the same thing continues to go on for the rest of the night until y'all finally work your way into the face of a man that's got money. And the other men spent their money on you because maybe they thought that you was going to give them the time of day. But it's the man's fault that the clubs are not fun anymore.
So the disrespect I see some of y'all women take in the name of being a girl's girl is insane. Few discretions advised.
Tweet says, scared of getting in a relationship because what if it works out and I'll never be single again? I'm almost scared to get into a relationship for real because I don't not want to be single. I want my autonomy. I want to be able to do what I want to do. I want to be able to gaslight you niggas every now and then. I want to be able to do everything that I want to do. Yeah.
To have this kind of a take is so odd to me because being in a relationship is not mandatory. There's no law. There's no one that can force you. Nothing. It is literally a decision. That's like me coming on here complaining about having to move to Pakistan, knowing I don't have to do it. Literally, there's no law that is going to force me to move to Pakistan. It is simply a decision. Shorty really got on here and said she's scared to be in a relationship because she doesn't not want to be single. Ma'am, is your brain functioning properly? Is everything firing on all cylinders the way it should? Because you do know you can be single for as long as you want. As long as you want. There is literally no threat to your singlehood. You are in 100% control on being in a relationship or not being in a relationship. And to think she got on a platform and said this with her whole chest. What be wrong with some of y'all? And y'all want me to believe this generation of women is the most educated of all time? You gotta be kidding me.
And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I look at you and your relationship and it feels limiting to me. And it might not feel limiting to you, but for where I am and on my journey and like where I am and being single, I couldn't imagine being like, oh, let me tell him.
And to think, in the name of friendship, you sat on this platform and allowed that woman to disrespect your relationship that you chose to be in because she's on a different path in life. If it's one thing that scares me most about female friendships, I don't understand the moral code. I don't know what code they actually follow. Every female group has a completely different code. I'll be damned my homeboy would ever say something like that to me just because he's on a different path in life. Like, yeah, bro, I love being single. I love being outside and doing my own thing and gaslighting women. And sometimes I look at you like, I feel sorry for you, bro. What? He'd be lucky if I don't swing on him right in that moment. Are you crazy? I chose to be here because I want to be here. I'm enjoying myself in this relationship. It is not your place to criticize my relationship in a situation that has nothing to do with you. No one is telling you to be in a relationship. You don't have to. You know what? I think sometimes I get a little too ahead of myself and I care too much about certain topics. And I'm like, there's no way I could be on a podcast platform and be disrespected in this manner and just be letting them go off and say you crazy. It's unfortunate that this woman does not even realize she's being blatantly disrespected. Not only directly, but her friend is also disrespecting her relationship and her decision making. And fellas, we got to be careful on who our women call friends, because if she got one of these in her corner, it's a good chance your relationship ain't gonna make it. But you know what? Fortunately for y'all, you ain't got to listen to nothing I'm saying, because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep it change.
What's the science behind all men thinking the perfect time to romance you is while you're making dinner or doing dishes? Let's look at the comment section. So comment number 1 says, fill me with rage. The second one, obviously she wants to beat him up. And the third one says he wants his mommy. She said, I know we're in a man-hating era right now, but certainly that can't mean that you guys obviously think these insane ideas. When I was looking at the comment section, women are bitter, y'all, and sick in the head. Like, let's keep going. Someone said, I don't like it. It makes me feel like he's trying to manipulate me. Manipulate you into what? Cooking dinner? Okay. This one says emotional manipulation. The other one says control. Oh my God. So I want to talk about this from both ends. How I see this is I personally understand getting overstimulated. I understand being the type of woman that likes to be in the kitchen by myself. I don't like help. I don't want nobody assisting me. I'm okay. I don't need anything. If I need anything, I'll let you know. 9 times out of 10, I'm very used to cooking on my own where I don't need that. I prefer me to be in the kitchen while a man sits down, watches TV, does whatever. I'm not one of those women who says I don't need something and behind my mind, I really do. No, I wholeheartedly do get overstimulated in the kitchen. I don't want to be groped, held, and all that. But where I'm coming from is, why don't you say that? Instead of, getting upset, instead of feeling some type of way, instead of having all this rage blow up and fester in your head, you can easily tell your partner that I love you, I care about you, I love to be held on other aspects. But when I'm cooking, I just want to be in the kitchen. Everybody knows when you're cooking, it's hot in the kitchen, you get overstimulated, you're thinking about timing, how fast you have to have dinner cooked and all that stuff. And I get it. It's a lot, especially to some women. So explain that to your man so that way he understands you better and knows when not to and when to touch you. I also feel like letting women know that this is manipulation and control is the stupidest thing on earth. Because when a man's paying for your dinner, paying for all the rent, and taking care of you, is that manipulation? Is that control? Why don't you pay for your own rent? Why don't you pay for your own things? The way women go and manipulate everything and make the men feel like they're the bad guys, I don't see what's wrong with that. And here's another theory. I know so many men that love when women cook for them. Just like us, we get so attracted to our man when he's building stuff or when he's doing things in the home, or maybe when he's working out and we're watching him. That's an attractive trait. You don't think when a man's watching you like cook, he's like, she looks so beautiful, or man, she could really cook. What if he's never had a woman who could cook? What if he's never had a woman that looked as good as you? Sometimes you look at things in such a negative perception and you'll never know how a man really feels about you. This is why I say be careful taking advice from these bitter gargoyles, because you're going to sit there and go, yep, he's manipulating, he's controlling me. And you're going to get mad instead of just communicating that. Hey, babe, I love you, but this is me time. When I bake and I cook, I don't need help. Unless you guys are having cooking days together, I totally get it. But men, practice active listening skills. If your girl tells you, hey, babe, please leave me alone, don't keep bothering her, man, because then when she rages out on you, whose fault is it?
So men, there's a woman out there whose main objective is to emasculate you. Yep, Her main objective in life is to emasculate you. And the reason why she wants to emasculate you is because she takes great satisfaction in seeing you angry. She takes great satisfaction in manipulating you to the point that you explode. She takes great satisfaction in seeing chaos within you that she caused. Yeah, this is a real, true story, right? And the reason why she wants to emasculate you is because she was probably raised by a bitter mom who taught her to hate men. And so what she did was she then went out into the world and hated men. Instead of actually trying to break generational curses and cycles and get therapy to change her mindset, growth mindset. A lot of women don't want to have growth mindsets. They want to just kind of stay in whatever they were taught and then cry, you know, the boo-hoo story about, oh, this is how I was raised, I don't know no better, and think that tears are going to continue to have men stay around while they manipulate you. No, man. She has daddy issues. She may have low self-esteem. Another man may have hurt her in the past, which has caused her to act like this. But what I'm going to say to you is value yourself and leave. Another woman will value you.
His woman is doing this while he's sitting in the car. I know you lying. She like, can you help me? Can you help me? You won't even hold the umbrella for her.
I truly hope that there are no able-bodied men out there that will just stand by the side and watch a girl change the tire. If you don't know how to change a tire as a man, we need to talk. Seriously. And ladies, we're sorry. We don't claim this one.
This is just your daily reminder that every man is a loser until proven otherwise. Have a great Monday.
When you look at these videos and then you see a whole bunch of videos from women saying guys aren't coming up to women anymore. I don't know what's happening. I'm hot and all my friends are hot and guys aren't coming up to us anymore. What is going on? Are you guys just not ballsy enough? What is wrong with you? What's wrong with them? They're seeing video after video after video of you calling them a loser on second one, man-hating, being obnoxious and entitled, being a total nag. Why would they come up to you?
Women think being a man is so much easier than being a woman. But one woman actually went undercover as a man to experience life through a man's eyes, and it ended up destroying her life. Nora Vincent lived as a man named Ned for 18 months. She joined a men's bowling league, went on dates with women, went to male support groups, and even lived in a monastery. But pretending to be a man broke her down. The loneliness, the lack of empathy, and the emotional pressure of being a man crushed her. After the experiment, she had a mental breakdown and checked herself into a psychiatric hospital. And years later, she chose assistance. Nora went undercover to better understand men, but what she found was that women are treated with care, empathy, and support, while men have to stay strong, hide their pain, and deal with everything alone.
How do you date a feminist?
You don't. That's how you do it. I don't know about y'all boys, but I don't want to be in a relationship with a woman whose sole intent is to make me feel as irrelevant and unnecessary as possible. I don't know, but I like appreciation. You can be in that relationship. That's cool. But that's not for me. I'm all about female empowerment.
Right. All day.
I know feminism though. Right. That new feminism is all about saying how we can replace y'all because we don't need men in the world.
If we walking up to the car and I don't open your car door, what do you say?
Open the door.
You better believe it.
Yeah, no, I am with you. I think
so. You make daddy a sandwich.
I think.
For sure. I don't trick. I treat. Y'all peep game.
Peep game.
Peep game.
Peep game.
I don't trick. I treat. And all that means is I'm not going to trick on you, but I will treat you like a lady.
Yeah.
I will treat you. I will take you on a date. I will court you. I will open the door. I'll make sure that you're not on the street side when we walking down the street. I'll make sure you got a coat on your shoulders when it's snowing. You know, those are all things that a real man, those are the things that matter.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
And then all the other stuff just fall into place. You never have to worry about picking up a tab or a bill or nothing like that.
You know, that story about Nora Vincent is still tragic to this day, to be honest. Still tragic to this day. All right, so I wanted to go look a little bit more to the situation because a lot of times you see a clip and there's more to the story. So essentially for Nora, who was later Ned, yes, it is right that her being Ned had a profound and a devastating impact on her mental health. I think it talked about the burden of deception. and the harsh realities of male socialization wore her down significantly, right? That ultimately led to a severe depressive breakdown. And that's when she committed herself to a psychiatric facility, right? So, you know, when you look at the self-made man and how it exacerbated her mental health issues, it wasn't the sole or immediate reason she alived herself, right? She did have a lifelong battle with depression. Talked about treatment-resistant depression, which is crazy, right? And, you know, I think she held on. She wrote the book in 2006, and in 2022, I think 16 years after the actual publication of her book, she decided to go through assisted unaliving at that point in time, which, you know, like, you know, the article or the research said it wasn't the sole reason. You know, she had issues before that, but being a man greatly. So even if you say, well, you know, that wasn't the sole reason, yada, 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 being a man or living and trying to socialize as a man greatly exacerbated, greatly caused stress. That's a fact.
These hoes always talking about some bring back the traditional men, but can't even afford traditional buffalo wings, bone in. Get the out of here, ho. Y'all always talk about what men used to do. I remember when men used to go to war. I remember when men used to work. I remember when, yeah, okay. You don't remember when women didn't used to have rights? You remember when women used to shut their up? You remember when used to go upside their head and that was the end of the argument? You remember when y'all couldn't divorce? Oh, yeah. So if you want a traditional man, how about you give up your rights? Be a traditional woman. You know what I'm saying? Let's both get this tradition jumping in. You know, if y'all want to step back in the day, then we both need to go back in the day. But y'all don't get to be these modern hoes while we stay traditional. You know what I'm saying? It's not going down like that. You hoes always looking for a loophole, always looking for leverage. And you hoes fought for rights and y'all still don't want to do. Y'all equal to us, but y'all still want more. Sound like y'all was voting and fighting for perks and you know, advantages, you know, privilege. You hoes didn't really want no rights, but y'all want some traditional men out of here, bro.
I don't want to say this but I am. There's not really any like men these days. Like, you know what, like masculine men. When I'm talking about masculine, I don't mean like bulk dudes, like, like dumb right now. I'm talking about like masculine men. Like, where are those guys?
What
you know, like someone like my brother and my dad. They're
what makes a masculine?
Yeah, what do you want in a masculine man?
Like change a tire type?
It has nothing to do with looks. It's just a guy who can just like support you and like no jealousy. Just like, you know, it's not easy dating me, you know, because, you know, like I said, I'm kind of like an alpha, you know, so I got to meet someone who's more alpha than me.
So you want more alpha, you don't want a beta.
No,
because a lot of
absolutely
alpha homegirls that I have a little bit more of a beta boyfriend situation.
Because I have dated someone that was very, very a yes man, and it was very sweet, but then it gets boring.
You just don't know what they want. She couldn't even answer the question. He said, what is a masculine? What do you consider a masculine man to be? And she couldn't even tell you. Somebody who supports you and is not jealous is a masculine man? That's your answer? Somebody who's more alpha than
Jordan Pauline, go ahead and turn them comments back on because we on your ass. You don't get to just turn them comments off because when it was, oh, Tylil did it, I'm not lying. You had everybody in them comments saying, yeah, I stand with her. Yeah, Tylil is such a horrible person. Yeah, don't watch Tylil. Don't watch the Clover Gang. Don't watch, nah, Jordan Pauline, come on. Come on, we got something to say to you. We got something to say to you. Because not that you thought that you was going to have a one-night stand with a man, and then lay in the bed after having a one-night stand saying, I wish I didn't have the one-night stand. I really don't do this after doing it. And at the end of the day, you wanted to lie on this man and take over his whole career because he don't want to be with you? Because he don't want to be with you? Jordan Pauline, turn them comments back on right now. We need you. We need you. We got some questions. We got some questions that need answers. Baby, you're going to have to show us something whole different. Something whole different. At the end of the day, Tyleel, congratulations, babe. You just cleared your name. And with that being said, I'm on her ass right for you. Okay? So don't even worry about it. We got her. Jordan Pauline, we looking for you. Where you at?
A man should pamper a girl on her periods. A man should always pay the bill on dates. A man should carry shopping bags. A man should put in efforts. I mean, I get it. But why is nobody talking about what should a woman be doing? What are women bringing to the table? I get irritated sometimes, because women on the internet are always like bare minimum, princess treatment, red flag, green forest, feminism, this, that. अरे भाई बट ब्रो तू क्या कर रही है रिलेशनशिप के स्टैंडर्ड्स सिर्फ मर्दों के लिए क्यों सेट किए जाते हैं व्हाट आर द स्टैंडर्ड्स फॉर विमेन व्हाट अ मैन शुड बी डूइंग उसकी तो एक लंबी चेकलिस्ट सभी ने बनाकर रखी है बट व्हाट अ वुमन शुड बी डूइंग उसके बारे में तो कोई बात ही नहीं करता आई एम नॉट सपोर्टिंग और गोइंग अगेंस्ट एनी जेंडर मुझे कोई कंट्रोवर्सी क्रिएट नहीं करनी बस यही है कि एज अ वुमन अगर मुझे ये थॉट्स आ रहा है तो if you're a man watching this, तुम्हें कभी ये thoughts नहीं आते?
Alright, this one's for the ladies. Actually, nah, come close. This one's serious. Chivalry is right? It literally has to be, because I, as a 26-year-old single man who is now thrown back into the dating world, it just doesn't work. By the way, if you would give me a quick follow, I've got videos like this coming out every day. Like a week ago, for instance, I went out on a date with a girl and I got her flowers before the date. Mind you, first date, we don't really know each other all that well, and I showed up with a bouquet of roses for her. She acted as if it was some pain in the ass that she had to go back up to her apartment and put it into a vase like it was some chore. Or another thing, and this is something I've actually seen all over social media. If a guy were to open the door for a girl or hold the door for her, I've seen girls have conversations and try to say that, oh, I'm an adult woman, I can get the door myself. Which is just completely mind-blowing, by the way, because I've got dudes that hold the door for me all the time, and I say thank you. I fully get it's also gonna depend on the girl. It just feels like that old school, romantic, communicative relationships that used to exist just don't exist anymore. So yeah, leave some comments, let's have some conversations, let's talk, because I need to get to the bottom of this. I need to know.
I hear you. A lot of people feel exhausted from dating and relationships, and I think there's a reason behind that. Modern relationships are very emotionally intense. We are dating for multiple years, we are moving in together, we're sleeping with each other, and then we're breaking up all throughout our teens and 20s. So by the time a lot of us hit our late 20s, early 30s, instead of being in a position where we are ready to get married, a lot of us are going through a healing journey instead. That's why I want to point out that historically, people did not experience heartbreak like this. They were more reserved, relationships were slower, and if anything, people did not get that emotionally, intimately invested until they were ready for marriage or actively married, which means they didn't have to spend a decade healing from repeated emotional trauma the way that some of us do. And I do want to add this last part, even though it might be hard to hear, and that is that healing is important, but I don't want you to heal yourself into isolation. Because if later on you realize that things like love, marriage, family were things that you wanted, it might be a case where we're a little late. Because the options only get fewer and fewer. We all know that. And so I'm just saying, don't close the door on something that you might want to open back up later.
He's even adopted my two twins as his own kids after their father has passed away. But I still find it really hard to be 100% submissive to him.
Oh. She's the problem. I just figured it out. Next question.
I guess because of my previous relationships and the letdowns that I've had, that next 15, it's hard for me.
You have to be very intentional about it moving forward. So in those moments where you feel like you're not able to give submissive energy, or you're not able to be submissive in a situation, ask yourself why. Ask yourself what's triggering you.
A lot of my previous relationships,
but you're not there anymore. So why are you holding him accountable?
Because the other guys have allowed me to be the dominant one. I've always been the dominant one. So.
Okay, but you're not there anymore. So why are you blaming him for their actions?
I don't blame him for the actions.
But you're putting their actions on him.
Yeah.
So you have to be very intentional. It's hard work. Like, be clear. Intentional. I can say any word. Intentional. That's very easy to say.
Yeah.
But it's work. It's hard work.
I have a question about Costco. This one's for the boys. Do you guys see women struggling to pick up cases of water and you're just like, who cares? At what point is someone going to offer to pick up these cases of water for me? I know I look strong and yeah, I can do it, but you're all out here complaining about your loneliness epidemic and how no women want to be women, but you won't even try to be a man when someone's sitting there in front of you picking up cases of water. Clearly, I'm about to walk into Costco, and I just, I'd really like it if someone would do all the heavy lifting. That's all. Okay, bye.
Yep, and it's women like you. It. You know how when you told us you didn't need us anymore, told us you could do anything that a man can do, told us the patriarchy needed to, and that you expected, make that demanded to be treated exactly the same as men. Funny how quickly that all disappeared when you wanted a place to sit down. Y'all spewed your hate and garbage for decades now, ladies, and now you're gonna pay the price for doing so. Not just now, but for years to come.
And unfortunately, you kind of look at that clip where the men are just kind of taking it easy. They're sitting down and they're chilling, right? They're worried about themselves. I think there was a clip prior where the woman was saying, I think the man was I don't know if they were married. Yeah, I think they might have been married. He was a stepdad to her children. And she was like, I still can't respect him as my child's father. It's just, maybe there's some trauma within me. There's some things that I'm going through where I just can't really respect him fully. And that really wasn't his fault. That had everything to do with her issues, her trauma. And people had to talk to her about the foolishness that was coming out of her mouth, the expectations and the silliness that was coming out of her mouth. No doubt she's probably causing issues in the home. She's probably disrespecting that man. And this is what you have with these young ladies. The stuff that y'all be asking for, and then, first of all, disrespecting men before, during, and after. Asking them for assistance, asking them to move so you can be comfortable. You don't want these men to go out and work day and night, night and day, and a little bit more than that to make your lives comfortable while showing up late, being lazy, doing 25% of the work, if that. Entitled.